Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to fill our Zippo refillable butane soft yellow flame insert for the fifth time, I believe. So this will be at least the fifth video that we've made on this insert, and still operating off the same original flint. I bet you can see as I was trying to light something with it a couple of nights ago, it started flickering on me. So sometimes you'll get a little bit more out of it, sometimes you don't get much. We'll go ahead and use our precision screwdriver here to bleed the inlet valve. You can hear that hiss a little bit. I can also still feel it on my finger there a little bit. And that sounds like that's about it. So, no more gas left in it. Should have all the excess air purged out. And we will go ahead and take our trusty old Vector 14 times purified compressed butane fuel, place that right on the inlet valve, and we're just going to fill this for about 10 seconds. I think I'm going to follow the instructions on the bottle this time, where it says to do it, well, a total of 3 to 4 times, because it tells you to repeat 2 to 3 times, and doing it for 15 to 20 seconds. Although I'm not going to do it for 15 to 20 seconds, I'm going to do it about 3 times for about 10 seconds. The lighter did seem to me like it lasted a little bit longer, this previous refill, than it had the one before. And you can obviously feel that the metal case that makes up the outside of the insert is cold to the touch, far more than it was earlier. It was pretty hot when I pulled it out of my pocket. Here on the 4th of July in Mesta Park of Oklahoma City, I think we've got a high today of somewhere around 96 degrees. Not too bad. So we're going to call that good. Set that here, and we will revisit it in here in a couple of minutes as we ignite it and make sure that everything is working. I do think it is interesting that this vintage look case has maintained such integrity of the hinge to where it is not falling all the way down. Most of them seem to fall a lot further than that. You see the majestic view doesn't, or it falls a little bit further, but it's still holding up pretty tight too. I have not handled that many new lighters, especially newer new lighters. So anyway, just a interesting disposition of the lighter as we sit here waiting for that fuel to settle down. You can see that the 41 replica, it just falls all the way down. And that, of course, is full of petrol fuel. While we are here, I'm going to take a small bit of WD-40 silicone spray that I have and apply it to this piston spring. And I don't think it's actually the spring that's causing the problem. I think it is the point where the cam engages the spring. So we'll see. Give me just a moment. I'm going to get something over here to where I can just drop a little dot of that down there and hopefully work it in and solve the problem. This didn't do it till I dropped it one day, and it really gave my case a bad overbite the way that it fell. And when that happened, then it was suddenly very stiff when you try to close the Zippo case with this particular insert in it. So give me a moment. Let me get that WD-40 silicone spray, and we'll get a drop of that drop down in there. I believe that was Mark Burris on the DependableFlame.com Facebook group who told me that silicone grease would work best, and I don't have silicone grease, so I'm going to do the best I can manage with what I have in the room. And I'm just going to hopefully drop a little drop of this after I squirt a little bit over here in this empty lid. I'm going to just drop a little drop down on that piston, the top of that piston, and let's just see how it all turns out. It's definitely better. Whether or not that'll solve our problem is another story, which we will have to answer on another day. It is closing easier than it was. We'll just see if that lasts very long. Maybe even loosens up a little bit more. Or maybe I decide that I need to get some silicone grease. Anyway, it's been a couple minutes since we filled this thing. And this is my current EDC Zippo lighter, my current EDC. I don't always use Zippos. Sometimes I'll use a Cygnus. Sometimes I'll use a Park. Sometimes I'll use a Ronson. There's just no telling. But as we have been testing out this soft yellow flame butane refillable Zippo insert, then I have been carrying not only a Zippo petrol lighter to use, but also a Zippo with this refillable butane insert. Boy, you could really feel that thing flame up there at first, maybe because we put so much fuel in it. So we'll see how it goes from here. Lights right up again. Until next time.